Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into the 8th Summer 2025 update. GavsWeatherVids. So here we go, again time for you more summer data. This week we're doing an April data special. And I should get on with that for you in a moment. As you can probably see from the tabs, we've got a lot to get through. So I'll get on with that for you very shortly. Just say that first, a video there was our 6-day UK weather forecast. And of course, we've also got a 10 to 14 day video coming up later on today as well. No live stream, as I'm going to be doing job number 2 this evening. So I'm not going to be here in the town to do a live. However, the 10 to 14 day will still continue, and that will be a video upload, and you'll be able to see that a little bit later on. So please like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Thank you so much to Rich. Thank you to Ricardo. So much to Thank you so much to Richard Shaw. What am I doing? What are you doing, Gab? That one, isn't it? No. What's he doing? There you go. Thank you so much to Richard Shaw. It's been a long day. Thank you so much to Richard Shaw for the updates gift there. So updates gift. Thank you so much, my friend. Gab being carted off by the cops. Thank you so much, Rich. And thank you so much to Shrine as well for sorting out our years for this update. Hashtag Team Gav. Amazing as always. Thank you so much, guys. Right, let's start off with CT now. Unfortunately, the central England temperature hasn't finalised for April so far. We're still sitting at 10.7 here. Provisional to the 29th of the month. So we don't have a final number. However, we can say definitively, because of where we was on the 29th at 10.7, that this is going to be a top 10 warmest April since 1950. And you know that we love a countdown at GavsWeatherVids. So da 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 do 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 do. Sorry everyone, not off. We're going to have a look at summer's morning, my top 10 warmest Aprils for central England temperature since 1950. We begin here at 2024. Oh, we're 2024. So last summer was unsettled, of course, with low pressure to the north and high pressure to the south, winds coming in from a westerly direction. So pretty unsettled and cool summer last year. But we got 1961 at number 9. This one is a pretty unsettled summer as well. Quite cool. It's 1960 summer, so it's got to be, hasn't it? Winds in from the west a little bit like that. At number 8, we've got 2018. So 2018 was in fact the 8th warmest April since 1950, and the summer of 2018, of course, it's a long, hot summer with lots and lots of high pressure in from off the Atlantic. Notice for a ring of high pressure going all the way through the mid-lats here, mid-latitude. So not only here, I imagine it was a very hot summer across many parts of the Northern Hemisphere, but particularly, of course, very hot in June and July of 2018. August did wobble a little bit. And then at number 7, we've got number 9. This is the barbecue summer, the summer that the Met Office slipped up with. So this quite mixed. It wasn't too bad, actually. The analogue probably looks worse than it was. July was poor in 2009, but did have a hot spell late in June. And August 2009 wasn't too bad either. And then at number 6, we've got 1987, which was the 6th warmest April for central England temperature. This one's a very bad summer. So there's a run of really poor summers through the middle of the 1980s, coinciding with the cold winters as well. So 85, 86, 87, 88 were all pretty atrocious summers. 1987 was poor as well. Mid-Atlantic ridge up to Greenland, and very cool northerly winds, unsettled and cool summer in 1987, one to forget. We've got 2014, bizarre summer this one, with a really warm July, 17 Celsius CT, followed by a 14 Celsius August. So the analog doesn't tell you much about the summer, and it was very, very contrasting, and I say quite a bizarre summer. 2014 at number 5. At number 4, we've got 2020, bit of everything in this summer. So plenty of low pressure through there, but also high pressure through there and through there. Again, the analog probably doesn't tell you everything you need to about this summer. So everything happens in the summer of 2020. There are protracted, very warm, even really hot spells, heat spikes. There's also a lot of cool, wet days. There's some very torrential thunderstorm days. There's even some notable windstorms late in the summer. In August, my runner beans got flattened by a couple of named storms that we had in the last sort of week or two of the summer. Overall, a really poor summer in 2020 there. Oh, at number 3, it's 2025. That's where we think April central temperature will come in at number 3. Of course, we can't confirm that until the Met Office do, but that's where we're pitching it. So questions. What will summer 2025 have in store? And then what do you think the second warmest April would be? Let's have a look. So there it is, it's 2007. Oh dear. With a block towards Greenland. It's been a while since I've done that. With a block towards Greenland and Iceland and low pressure in the north west Europe. Check out where the jet stream's going to be. So we have summer in April. And then we flip it into a very cool wet summer pattern. Torrential rains, flooding rains at the end of May and through June and through July as well. August is a little bit better, but that's not saying much. It's a terrible, atrocious summer, and it follows the second warmest April. And then at number 1, it's 2011, and this looks like a really bad summer as well, with low pressure part over UK and Ireland combined with blocking up towards Greenland. It's not as bad as 2007. It's not as bad as 2012, actually. Those are the two washout summers. It's not a washout summer, but it is a very poor summer. It's often cool. It's often unsettled and not particularly inspiring whatsoever. Right, let's put all that together then. So this is how all June's combined looking, following the top 10 warmest Aprils with a central England temperature. Rather unsettled, low pressure south, high pressure out in the Atlantic. All Julys combined look significantly worse, with a deep trough, actually. I'm talking about the summer, July, deep trough over the north and west Europe. It is underneath a blocking area of high pressure as well. Obviously, there's exceptions to that. So we got 2018 in the mix, for example, which is a very, very hot and dry July. But the grass shriveled up, didn't it, in 2018. So there's exceptions, but once you put it all together, July looks pretty bad, I have to say. And then all August combined look like that, with the higher pressure in the Atlantic and going up towards Greenland and into the pole as well. And then all Aprils combined look like that, with a trough of low pressure over and to the east country. A ridge is out to the west, and check out where the wind's going to be coming from. So overall, it's a poor summer signal, but we have there. Okay, I'm going to give the video a little bit of a pause, I think, and when we come back, we are going to go through our next set of analogues, and that one, you'll be looking at England Wales Precipitation. You go off and stretch your legs, digest what you just witnessed, and we'll see you with more very soon. See you soon, everyone. Okay, we're back and we're ready to resume this 8th Summer 2025 update from GavsWeatherVids. Now, in the last set of analogues, we was going through the top 10. Summer's following the top 10 warmest April central England temperature, and there was an error. Gav making a mistake? Surely not. Surely not. Yes, it's true, and don't call me Shirley. Check this out. That's all August combined, following the top 10 warmest Aprils for central England temperature. And, well, that's the chart I showed you, and that's the chart that I should have shown you. So August looks pretty bad. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, yeah, we actually channel a very unsettled August following the top 10 warmest Aprils for the CET. So going through that again, All June combined look mixed. All July combined look terrible. All August combined look equally as bad, and all summers are pretty grim. So the trend is clear, but again, there are exceptions. As I say, we've got 2018 in the mix there. Though don't be too despairing. However, the trend after those top 10 warmest Aprils does look quite clear. Right, so that's cleared that up. Let's crack on then with our next set of analogues, and this time we're going to be looking at England-Wales precipitation. Again, we don't have finalised numbers for England-Wales P. We're only up to about the 28th, 29th of April, unfortunately. However, up to that point, we was at 37.3 millimetres, which was an anomaly of 59% of average. I imagine that's about where we're going to come in, because there wasn't much, if any, rain in the last couple of days of the month. So when it's finalised, it shouldn't be particularly deviating from that. And so for our next set of analogues, we are going to be looking at summers following April. England-Wales precipitation range of 29 to 45 millimetres should place us nicely slap bang in the middle of that range. Starting off with 1955. Now, the summer of 1959 is a cracking summer. Hot summer in the middle of the 1950s. Big blocking area of high pressure over the top of UK and northern Europe, so mostly dry, hot and sunny, especially so in July and August, I should say. And then we go on to 1956. This is a complete reverse. It's only 1 year on, and just goes to show that no 2 years are quite the same. You couldn't get much more of a contrast between the summers of 1955 and 1956. This one is atrocious summer, one of the worst summers of the 20th century, particularly bad in August, very cold, very wet in August. The rest of the summer is terrible as well, though. So you can see the reason why, with that enormous trough virtually obliterating the whole of northern and western Europe. We go to 1958, that one also really unsettled, lots of low pressure in from off the Atlantic as well. So 3 1950 summers back to back, quite interesting how that worked out. That's another very poor summer within that precipitation range. We'll get a long gap to 1988. This is another bad summer. Oh dear, lots of low pressure through the west of Europe. High pressure is up there as well. So that again, following April, England-Wales precipitation range of 29 to 45 millimetres. We move on to 1990. This is our first decent summer for this set of analogues. No, it isn't. We had 1955, didn't we? Well, anyway, this is a decent summer. High pressure from the sort of low pressure up here. Bit unsettled in June. Gets dramatically better in July. And then all culminates in a very hot August. And we get to 37 degrees, 100 Fahrenheit for the first time in recorded history, anyway, modern history, in early August of 1990, famously at Cheltenham. We've got 2010 showing up next. It's a classic front-loaded summer. First one of those that we've seen for this update. I think ridge through the Atlantic up towards Greenland, trough through here, and then a ridge over towards western Europe. The jet stream and wind flow will be getting something a little bit like that. Has a really dry and pretty hot June and into the beginning of July. Then it begins to wobble as we go through July and turns progressively more showery, and then it all ends up in a cool and wet August. 2013, this of course is a hot July, hot summer with high pressure through the north and west. Europe follows that long cold winter that we have through 2012, 2013. Some ways 2013 is similar to 1947 in a more toned down way. Certainly the winter, Wales cold, wasn't quite as severe, or nowhere near as severe actually, as 1947 in 2013. But it's the same sort of idea. So it was a cold winter, and then we get a very hot summer, or we get a hot summer in 2013. It does wobble a little bit in August, but does have an 18 Celsius CT July. We've got 2020, that's back again, bit of everything in this summer, a nice mix of conditions, something for everyone. We've got 2022, long hot summer, of course, this one, lots of high pressure in, from the Atlantic into Europe as well. So, of course, we have 18 Celsius CT July, have an 18 Celsius CT August for the first time in nearly 20 years, and we also hit 40 degrees in July 2022 as well. Remarkable summer, and only a couple of years ago, could we have another hot summer so soon after 2022? Would be remarkable if we did. And then we have 2023. Now, of course, I got myself into trouble. Actually, I got told off by Shryan. Didn't I, Shryan? Little Tinker Shryan. We, of course, had a hot June. The last time 2023 appeared, I forgot about the hot June, didn't I? But we did, in fact, have a hot June in 2023. Otherwise, though, the summer then deteriorated markedly and rapidly in July of 2023. Overall, that was a mixed summer, but I did have that 17 Celsius CTG. But I outrageously forgot about the last time that appeared in one of these updates. Right, let's put all that together then. The second set. This is how all Junes combined are looking, following an April England Wales precipitation range of 29 to 45 millimetres. So high pressure through the Atlantic up into northern Europe, low pressure to the south of it, and winds coming in from the east, most unsettled conditions in the south. Probably quite a warm signal, I would say, for both Junes. All July's combined, perhaps a bit surprisingly, showing some higher pressure towards the west Europe, lower pressure up here. There's probably going to be a mix of quite decent Julys in there, along with the bad ones. All August combined, well, that does look a bit dodgy. Lower pressure is to the east, higher pressures out to the west. The winds will be coming in from a northwesterly direction. Bear in mind, though, we have got 2022, for example, in the mix, which had a very hot August. And then all summers combined, following April England Wales precipitation range of 29 to 45 millimetres. Looks like that. It is a mixed signal with above average heights through the Atlantic into northern Europe, below average heights of south winds in from that easterly direction. Probably most unsettled in the south, actually. Right, okay, that's the second set of analysis. We're going straight on to the third and final set. So this time we're looking at sunshine for the UK. So we can see that April 2025 was a very sunny month. Most places had above average sunshine. Just poor old southeast or eastern Scotland there with average sunshine amounts. So not as sunny generally around its east and northeast coast. That's because of the easterly winds, of course, dragging lots of low cloud and misty conditions often through the month. But relatively dry anyway, relatively sunny, I should say, for most of us, and particularly so through northwest Scotland and through some central eastern parts of England, where we get up to, or even in excess of 170% of average sunshine. It was actually a top 10 sunniest April, and you know we love a countdown at GavsWeatherVids, so yet again, here we go. We're going to look at summers following the top 10 sunniest Aprils for the UK, and we're starting at number 10 with 2010. It's all the 10, starting at number 10 with 2010. High pressure out of the Atlantic, low pressure through there, or lower pressure through there. Of course, as we explained, it's a front-loaded summer. Then go on to 2003. This is a proper hot summer. High pressure over and to the east of the country, low pressure out to the west. Look at the wind coming up from the south. So lots of southerlies in the summer of 2003. Of course, really hot in August, and we get to 38 degrees, I think, at Gravesend in that ferocious heat wave. And the rest of the summer, though, has regular hot spells. That's a classic. Then we've got 1990, another hot summer. After a bit of a poor start in June, we get to high pressure south, low pressure to the north. Of course, we get that hot spell at the beginning of August. Number 7, we've got 1984. It's a bit of a forgotten summer, but was very good in its own terms, actually, with high pressure more or less centred over the country. It's forgotten because of 1983. 1983, of course, is 19 Celsius CT July. very, very hot July for many years. It was the hottest July on record, and so 1984 is kind of overshadowed and forgotten about, but in its own terms, it was a really decent summer with lots of very warm and dry weather to be enjoyed. 2011 is in at number 6 with a trough of low over top of UK and Ireland, blocking up towards Greenland. So, well, least said about that one, the better. Then we've got 2007 at number 5. It's back again, the flooding rains with the blocking high. Oh dear, we don't want to repeat of that one, or maybe we do. I know it's not for me to judge. So I've got 2015, so this is a very poor summer, but does have one really intense heat spike, coinciding about the 1st of July, when, again, we push the temperature up to about 36 degrees at good old Heathrow. But otherwise, the rest of the summer, before and after, is pretty poor. 2020, back again. It's in all 3 sets of analogues, so, you know, that certainly looks like it's going to be one of the leading years for this year's summer forecast. We'll confirm that, of course, when we do the summer forecast. Oh, I haven't zoomed in to number 2. Hang on, I can rectify that, though. So at number 2, we've got 2021. This one, anticyclonic, quite a warmish summer, that one in 2021. But of course, very, very much overshadowed by 2022, the summer that came after it. And then finally, at number 1, we've got 2025. Again, it's questions. So what will summer 2025 have in store following the number 1 sunniest April for the UK? I wonder. Okay, put all that together. Lastly, this is how all Junes combined looking, following the top 10 sunniest Aprils. So not bad for the Junes. High pressure towards Scandinavia. Winds will be coming in from the east. This low could deliver thundery convective conditions, maybe a bit volatile down into the south. All July combined look more unsettled with lower pressure through there, so a rather mixed picture for the Julys. And then all August combined, that's where the August analog comes in, but I got mixed up with at the start. So all August combined look like that. More anticyclonic, but the high pressure is centred away to the northwest, so probably not overly warm with a lot of those Augusts, but probably quite a dry signal with many of them. Again, bear in mind, 1990 is in mix, 2003 as well. And all summers combined, following the top 10 sunniest Aprils. Lastly, showing blocking to the north, lower pressure is to the south. I reckon that's not a bad set, really, for that set of analogues. Let me know in the comments what you think, everyone. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Why don't drop a comment? Let's say what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to press back GavsWeatherVids and get them to subscribe too. And thank you so much for doing that. We need to put on around 50 subscribers to get ourselves to 19.7k. So if you could give us some, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Right, we'll end it there, Ben. Tomorrow, no, what I'm talking about. Later on today, we're going to have a 6 a.m. What's he doing? What's he doing? We're going to have a 6 later on today, we're not going to have a 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. That's all when people release. What are you doing, Gav? What are you on about? It's been a long day. I'm doing 2 jobs. No, later on, we're going to have your 10 to 14 day video upload. And I won't tell you what's coming up tomorrow. That will be the end of the 10 to 14 day. But there is no live stream tonight, as I'm going to be doing job number 2. However, we will be live on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday. Now, if you've got any questions about this summer update, then hold fire on those and fire away on Wednesday's live. Thank you, Shadow Ricardo, Richard Shaw, for the summer updates gift, and thank you, Shadow Schroyer, for getting all of the years together as well. Hashtag Team Gav done an amazing job on this update, as they always do. We'll end it there for the 8th Summer 2025 update. That's all now, and thanks for watching.